Don't miss what to buy next for Warhammer 40k, from terrain to even Space Marines.
Spiking bits.
First off, let's take a look at the new terrain sets from Games Workshop. Of course, they have some bundles that are available exclusively on their web store. I don't care about any of that because I can't get my hot little hands on them, but let's talk about the stuff that's going to be available to retailers this week. Imperial Sector and Derelict Factorum. So the Imperial Sector is kind of a hodgepodge of sprues that comes in here. This goes for $130, and the Derelict Factorum retails for $100 and includes new sprues we haven't seen before. So what does all that mean? Well, basically, long story short, there is a certain number of these new Sector Imperialis sprues that exist and are continually being added to as we're about to see with this new Mechanicus set over here. Well, let me show you over on the site real quick. So when Kill Team came out recently, they had a great deal for the starter set, which just got back into stock recently. Paramount, or maybe a testament to how good that box really is. And here you can kind of see some of the breakdown of the values. We've gone over this before here on the site. Not only do you get Skitarii and Gene Stealers, but you also get the cards, the rule book, and what I like to call a varied set of Imperial terrain, which kind of works out to about $136 just for the terrain itself. So it's about a $300 value for your $130 right here, which isn't too bad. So if you're watching this, I wasn't trying to sell you on Kill Team, but it's still pretty fun, easy to play. You can generally get games in quicker than 40k, and it seems to be very, very popular right now. Commanders, of course, is optional. Now, here are the existing, of course, now there's a new one that isn't on the sheet, but here is basically how the Ruined sprues come. And you can kind of see what comes in what, and the Kill Team box has a smattering of them, except for the statues and the Sanctum buttresses with the smaller statues right on top right there. So now what this box here is, the Imperial Sector, is going to come approximately with 3 of the wall sections right here. So you're going to get 3 of these bad boys. You're going to get, 3 of the half wall, the rune frames, 3 of the ruined floors, which is this one, ruins and floors, this one right here, and 3 of the half walls, which are these right here, which also kind of form the ruin set itself. Just a small, like $35 box set. It's just 2 sprues of these right here. So it's just a reconfiguration of these 3 sprues right here, and out of that you can actually make a couple different things. You could make 2 or 3 of the administratiums, or 2 administratiums and 1 sanctum, but the sanctum's gonna miss these buttresses and the little statues on top. Let me show you what that looks like. So here is the Sector Imperialis Administratum building, which, like I said, depending on how you configure or you figure this set, you're going to get either 2 of these or 3 of these completely whole intact. And then you would get one of these Sector Imperialis Sanctums. I said that completely wrong. That's besides the point, except for it's not going to have these buttresses with the statues on top of it. So like I said, it's kind of a hodgepodge of sprues in this kit, but there still is some savings, because once you actually get in here and open this all up, you are going to get the value of the 3 administratums, which is $50, plus an extra wall section left over, which is like half of a $35 kit, or 2 administratums and 1 sanctum minus the buttresses, which again you could put some sort of partial value on, whatever. But long story short, this is $130, and either of those configurations is more than $130, but not by a whole lot. But it's all nice and neat, all packaged up in one little box set here for the holidays. So maybe it's something that perhaps your significant other or parents would get for you for the holidays. So here's a quick look at the sprues. Again, we've run down all of this stuff in the past. It's the brand new Sector Imperialis sprues, designed in the UK, made in China here. So here's the ruins. These are this set right here is the ruin set for $35. You get a couple of those. And here's the first wall section. Here's some of the floor sections and all of that. And it's got that great grid work that you can use all the little pieces here to kind of support them and put them together. And then here are the wall sections, the complete wall sections right there. So you can get that nice two-story building kind of look. And then here's the sector. And let's see if there's any rules in here for 40K itself. Not the terrain is even a factor anymore. For the most part, nope, no rules. That's it. So $130. Wham bam. Thank you, GW. And then next up is the new Derelict Factorum. Now this is a little bit less. It's $100. It's going to come with a different configuration of stuff inside. So I actually don't know how you even go about putting a value on this, because it's going to come with some of the Sector Mechanicus terrain, which we saw with Shadow Wars Armageddon, which turned into a kill zone team. I don't even know anymore. So there's all this stuff right here, which I think was its own standalone kit. Then you get one of the sections of that's a different section right there than what I just showed you on that sheet. This is actually, which one is this? This isn't the Butcher sheet. Oh, this is the middle. This is the middle piece. That's columns and archways. No, that isn't even a real thing either. This actually I haven't seen yet. Not sanctum statues, not columns and archways, not runes and floors, not wall sections. Wow, GW's site was actually, as of this post, I think incorrect. Interesting. Okay. And then you've got these two wall sections here. So actually all of the parts for this are brand new for this Derelict Factorum. So these are brand new sprues that look to be getting added on to the new Sector Imperialis family. Misspeakings aside, I am pleasantly surprised with this, that there is 3 actually new sprues in here. One of the terrain, the larger Mechanicus terrain, was actually new too. So this is a new sprue that looks to kind of go along with the whole, you know, wrecked building kind of moniker or theme to this box set. So there's a couple of upper buttresses here to help support kind of the underneath if you're going that 6-inch 2-story kind of deal, and some broken apart floor sections here and broken apart support walls, which, you know, look to be pretty well detailed. This is the better quality of the Chinese terrain that we've seen. Their initial offerings in 2015 for Age of Sigmar definitely were pretty lackluster, but they've come on strong with their new designs, and they're nice and crisp for the most part, as best they can, while keeping, you know, the stuff affordable for the most part, and also being able to sell this, because as you can imagine, it's kind of a heavier sprue in getting across the ocean. You know, there's additional costs and packaging and all that stuff in England, and then shipping it out to all the different countries. I don't even know how GW does it sometimes with all of the supply chain, but long story short, if they weren't making money, they wouldn't do it, and somehow they found a way to do it, manufacturing this heavier, bulkier terrain in China. Here's the newer wall sections for this kind of industrial kind of look. It looks like some sort of a factory with the doors that roll up and roll down. Of course, if this was a video game, you had to take 100 tries to slide underneath this thing without it crushing you, unless it was Mario, and then of course it'd be super easy to do. So there's one that's fully open, and there's one that looks like it's just more of a bulkhead, like a kind of a corridor passage, whereas this might be more of a doorway kind of type deal, or a blast door type thing. And for the most part, it looks pretty well detailed, and it will complement. You get 2 of these in that set, and it'll complement this set very well. And then last but certainly not least is a partially destroyed fuel tank and piping lines right here, which we hadn't seen before. So if you're trying to expand your collection, this will be a great pickup for you, because not only are you going to get 2 new wall sections, 1 new floor section, but also an exploded kind of tank section here with some damaged gantry sections or flooring sections for that piece. So I am definitely stoked for this, and I feel like if you are looking for something new on the tabletop terrain wise, this is going to be a pickup for you. And last but certainly not least are the new Space Marine Heroes blind box, finally making it over here to the West. Originally released in the East last year, the East being Asia, that is. That was an interesting set. We have one right here. So this is kind of what they look like, and they were a blind box. There was 12 of them. There's only 9 different models that come in here in various odds right here. So you're doing a true blind box. So the Ultimate Chase comes 1 in every 3 boxes, not packs. We'll say boxes and packs right there, just to borrow some stuff from Magic the Gathering. Now this one's kind of different because there's 3 models that are actually air quotes missing out of here. You will get the Sergeant, and the Sergeant is actually going to be duplicated in Barnes & Noble's exclusive Space Marine Adventures Necron Labyrinth, or Labyrinth of the Necrons, whatever you want to call it. This guy's going to come in that, along with the other 3 models that from this Series 1 line that aren't in this, or that you don't have the opportunity to get in this box. Maybe as a crossover potential to try to, you know, get folks to go and buy the board game that wouldn't normally play the board game. I don't know, but we've already seen this. As a matter of fact, in the East, they're already on Space Marine Heroes Series 2, which is right here, which are Terminators with nondescript markings, so you can use them for any chapter, even though they are all come in this red plastic right here, but you don't necessarily have to do that. So there are the odds for all of you folks looking to get these miniatures. Now, price wise, this has a retail price of $84 US. Supposedly the blind boxes inside sell for $7, but that math doesn't make sense because 7 times 12 is 72. So I don't know why GW put that on the retailer sheet. Generally, the box price would always be less than the booster price, because for instance with Magic, if you pack out a box of Magic, I believe it comes to $144. Most stores sell it for, you know, $110 to $115. Now Amazon or Wizards is going exclusive on Amazon and selling booster boxes for $95, and that's a whole nother story for another day. Turns out Games Workshop isn't the only hobby company that customers tend to not agree with from time to time, but math doesn't make sense. So you may see these for $7 on the shelf, you know, blind box. Hey, let's open this up and you know, sell it as packs. Or you may see them for $10. Kind of just depends on what the stores are doing. There's no real rhyme or reason why this would be $7 unless, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. So somebody chime in if you crack the code on that one. The math just doesn't work out to me. Now, normally I'd open and build one of these, but we've already done that at least twice now. So I did open one, and there it is, just to kind of show you what actually comes in here. And it's not a big shocker, surprise. You get one of the Space Marine on sprue and a little card and a little collector's guide. None of this, of course, in Japanese. A little bit easier to read for the rest of us, I suppose, over here in the West. There it is. So there's the actual set, and of course you got the Chase Captain right there. Now we have a picture of him because, you know, he came out already, so it's not like a big super mystery or anything like that. But once you actually put your model together and get it all set up, he's going to look dynamic in something like this. And this is actually one of the ones that are going to come in that Space Marine Adventures board game from Barnes & Noble, but he was originally in the Series 1 set from Japan. So that, I think, is all of the new 40K releases for this week that you might be interested in. From Terrain to new Space Marines, Games Workshop has you covered going into the holidays, and of course Blackstone Friday. So that's it for this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all these videos.
Spiking Bits.